But we got a special guest in the building. Gang. We got Tammy in here. All right, so y'all, I'm going to play the track she about to work on. We about to just start working, for real.
She did try to call me. Is everything all right?
Yeah. We got Reese in the building.
Reese! What's up, sister?
Yeah.
New thing, new thing, new thing, new thing.
That's so cold.
Yo. This is stupid.
Yo, that's so cold, man.
Can't look at my heart.
She wrote this off Voicey, yo. That's what's crazy.
Yes.
She wrote
Words
this off
came
Voicey.
right to me as soon as I heard it.
Hey, we in here.
New thing, new thing, new thing, new thing.
Sing it exactly like that again.
New thing, new thing, new thing, new thing.
Sing.
First of all, don't try to psych my mind and hype me up. Sing at the same time. That's how you know he playing.
No, you're doing an amazing job for real.
Thanks.
And I commend you because you pressing through. Imani asking questions that stressed out people ask.
Stressed out and sleepy people.
You said don't sing that. That ain't what we told you don't sing.
Oh.
Oh.
All these daggone new
It's
things.
new thing.
Bring that old thing back.
It's new thing.
I'm glad I get to see this because this is the real, honey.
Now it was good for me that I was afflicted. Hit me hard and I kept on ticking. They dug ditches, but I didn't go under. I'm back bigger, better than before. I couldn't.
That mud can sing, y'all.
Good God. Oh, my
Jess.
goodness.
Jess.
Oh, Jesus.
We ain't never heard this before, y'all. So that's number one.
Me that I was afflicted. Hit me hard and I kept on ticking. They dug ditches.
That was beautiful. The exact same way.
I'm back bigger, better than before. I couldn't understand what they had against me. I was supposed to keep going. My bad.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Understand what they had against me, but the Lord made it work for me. I know that was different.
But that was good.
It was.
That was good. Different. Yes, sir. One more time.
Got this.
It's the way she going with it is
I can't
crazy.
do that.
I can't even describe it. I've never
like
heard.
It's like a pulse.
Let me tell you something though, y'all.
Like, I don't.
The thing about Tammy that is so crazy is there's no other. I've never heard Tammy's voice before. You know how some people can sing, but
Absolutely.
yes,
It's amazing.
yes.
The Lord made it work for me. They meant it for my bad, but He turned around and made it good. He's doing the new thing.
That's it.
Guys, we can't make this up, guys.
Y'all
Y'all here
heard
in the
it.
studio with
Y'all
us.
heard it.
Y'all sitting right in here
Right.
with us. We can't make this up.
Praise be unto our
Y'all, we
God.
having fun though. Tammy is insane.
I am having fun with you guys.
This is crazy.
He's doing the yeah. He's doing the he's doing the yeah. He's doing the new thing. I'm so glad that he's doing the a new thing. Praise God, y'all. This is Tammy Valier. We're doing a new thing over here. I have collaborated with ROJAY and Shiy to bring y'all some merch. Yes! You can purchase the merch at rojayxshy.com. If you want a hoodie, go grab it. If you want a hat, go grab it. If you want a t-shirt, go grab it. We appreciate your support.
What up, y'all? What's goody, my good people? Hold on, let me share this. Hold on 1 second. Let me move this. I'm gonna move this stuff out the chair. Hold on, y'all. I'm coming back.
Yo, what's going on? This is your boy Tank Bangin'. I have recently done a collaboration with my brother and my sister, ROJAY and Shiy, for a dope hoodie that simply says, simple makes sense. If you don't get it, keep reading it, it'll come to you. So if you like the sound of that, please go over to their website. That is rojayxshy.com. Go purchase that hoodie today.
What up, y'all? I'm coming, I'm sharing. So, y'all let me know if y'all can hear. Just can. Yo. Can y'all hear me? So, I want to make sure y'all can hear me real quick first. Somebody let me know. I can see the comments, yeah. I can see them. Let me move this too. I got a lot going on in my desk, y'all, but don't worry about that. In Jesus' name. Can y'all hear me though? That's the question. Yeah. All right. So, can y'all see me too? They can see me, Jess? Mm-hmm. First of all, what up? I'm glad y'all in here. We're always grateful that y'all are in here. Turn up. I'm in here, Dolo. Let me move this too. I got a lot going on. Wait a minute. I'm in here, Dolo, tonight. And I'm not going to be in here long, but I'm going to be in here. The first thing I want to say is thank y'all for, what number is this episode? 7? This is episode 97. And we committed to doing this thing on a random, just going live. We were chilling one day, and my wife had been telling me for a long time, we should go live. A long time ago, like, just to build and to, speak with people, like connect with people that love us, that we love. And 97 episodes strong. We out here. And my wife and I are extremely humbled and grateful that people show up to see us make music, to see us have conversations with each other. For embracing the guests that we've had, we are very appreciative. We are appreciative to all of the guests, people that's been in the studio with us, people that's been on the podcast with us. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. And we think that it's crazy that people believe in us enough to pull up on us and share their gifts, share their story, share their talents, share their time with us and you guys. Shout out to the Band Edition squad. Shout out to all the guests that have been on the podcast. If you have not subscribed, go to RXS Entertainment. That is the name of the YouTube channel that the RXS podcast is on. If y'all have not subscribed yet, go do that. Of course, Tammy Valier, new thing out right now. Shout out Tammy Valier. If you haven't seen her episode of the podcast, y'all go watch that. It's the podcast is also on like Spotify, like Apple Podcast, and all places that podcasts are. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast, I think the podcast is on it. It's the RXS podcast. So Tammy Valier, she shared her story, motherhood, being married, getting a divorce, being a minister, being turned away by certain types of church people and preachers, having a gift, believing in her gift, being discouraged, building back up, and getting to now. And this year for her and for the whole team, God is doing a new thing. So shout out to her. We are extremely proud of her. It's been a long time coming, and it's out. So y'all go stream that now. On our website, ROJAY.com, we did a partnership with Tammy Valier for a new thing. It's like a hoodie. It's a hat, hoodie, visor, and that's it. Or a t-shirt too. T-shirt, hat, hoodie, visor. We also did a partnership with our brother Stephen Aaron Pender. Shout out to Stephen. The sophisticated hoodie. That's at ROJAY, ROJAYXSHIY.com. The sophisticated hoodie. Shout out to Stephen. Shout out to Ricky Tank Daltrich, aka Tank Banging. We did a partnership with him too. Collaboration. And when y'all purchase a hoodie from the people that we collab with, we share the profits 50-50. So whatever we make, whatever y'all buy, and whatever we make, the profits, half of them go to them. Half of it goes to them. Half of it comes to my wife and I. Just to provide for us to keep doing what we do for y'all, to be honest. Like, we ain't out here trying to get rich or trying to scheme or scam. We just want to be able to have the resources to continue to give back. Chris Darden is in the building all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Gang, gang, gang. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Reggie. Shout out to Michaela. The home team is out with Pastor John on the West Coast tour. And we like dumb proud. We like dumb proud. So that's a thing. Hopefully Chris will be on the podcast soon. Damo Britt, his podcast is on the website. So we hype about that. Not the website, the YouTube channel. And I hope when they get off tour, Chris gonna come do it, because Chris has a crazy story. Chris has it is a very Cinderella-esque, but from a guy's perspective. Like, y'all know what, like, if he comes to the podcast and tell the story, you'll know what I mean. It's very similar to like the storyline of like that vibe. So it'll be inspiring. He just turned 25 recently, and he's doing this thing. He's doing the things he dreams of doing, and I'm proud of him. Vincent in the building. What's up, Brody? Yeah, so I think that covers everything. I wanted to thank everybody that's normally watching. I wanted to thank all the guests that's been in the stew, the guests that's been on the podcast, and the family that rocks with us. So now I can go into the thing that I want to talk about, that I think is like, it's an extension of a couple of days ago, but I want to talk about it some more from a different angle. The other night I was talking about quartet. So here we go. If you love quartet, if you know people that love quartet, you got quartet homies, you got quartet people. Let me turn up my mic, because this is for the quartet community. This is where I start my spiel. So the other night I spoke about quartet from a very honest and transparent place from my experiences. And I'm going to reiterate those things, and then I'm going to say the things that I want to say. The things that I spoke about the other night was
I've been in rooms with quartet singers, quartet artists that have complained about like not being respected in the grand scheme of music. Most of the time they use the term mainstream, but they really mean like the masses outside of the quartet community. Like they would like to be respected where they're on bigger stages or they're on FM radio, like XM radio. They don't get looks on big stages. They don't get looks by like XM radio, like certain FM stations. And it's a thing where it kind of hurts them that they are not respected and they don't feel like accepted by the broad community of music at large. And the other night I was simply saying that it starts from the inside out. And from my experience now, this is one man's point of view. It is okay if you disagree. I could be totally wrong. Like I always say, I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. I don't claim to know everything. I don't think I know everything. But I do know, I am extremely aware. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my clothes. I am extremely aware of my experiences. And I'm not the only. Trey is back in the building. I'm extremely aware of my experiences. And I know that they are not just my experiences. And the other night I talked about the fact that it starts from the inside out. The respect that we feel that we should get from outside of the quartet community is not, it has to start within the quartet community with us respecting each other. The artists respecting the musicians respecting the artists, the promoters respecting the groups, like doing right by each other, being integral, going the extra mile to perfect the craft, teaming up with people that have insight and resources outside of the bubble that you're used to, like being willing to go left when everybody goes right. And I was just ranting from a very from a very passionate and humble but aggressive place, because I've seen so many people misused. And to be quite transparent, me and my homies have had conversations where we talk to each other like, yo, dude, this is like the same. Like, since the last time I did this, it has been 3 years, and the business, the culture, the environment, the choices are the same. And there's a lack of respect for each other within the community. And I don't think with that lack of respect, there's not any unity, because there's no trust. So because there's lack of disrespect, there's lack of trust. Because there's lack of trust, there's lack of collaboration and partnerships. And because we're not unified within the community, it makes no sense to expect to be respected. It doesn't make sense to complain about being disrespected if we have not positioned ourselves to earn respect. Two things that I want to mention. Two people that I want to shout out based on some things that I mentioned. One thing that I mentioned was like production and songwriting, like being behind, right? The other thing that I mentioned was creating our own platforms and doing things our own way. So there's two people in particular that I want to shout out for being the pioneers and being the ambassadors for going one way instead of the other. The first person is Lisa Knowles Smith. Shout out to Evo Entertainment and Lisa Knowles Smith for being willing to be the bridge, see the need. Like, Lisa's one of those that has spread her wings and gone other places and seen other things. And the thing that I like about her is she's looking at how things are being done in other arenas, and then she's coming back and saying, okay, the community that I love, the community that I grew up in, the people that I love need this information. So she's literally doing seminars and like workshops on production, songwriting, Like she has packages for like people to get their song fully produced. So y'all go look up Evo Entertainment. And I wanted to shout her out because like those are the things that we need from the younger generation of influence. Like be the change. And I want to be an ambassador for that change in any way that I can through my experience or my talents or my gifts. So shout out to Lisa Knows Smith, gang, gang, gang. And the other one is Chubbs. Shout out Chubbs, Morton, D Morton, and Gifted. I want to shout out Chubbs for starting the QMAs. Instead of waiting for a door to be opened in another building, Chubbs is taking on the responsibility of building another building, like building a quartet building. And he's bringing along the people who believe in him and the people, the newcomers, the youngsters that want to make a difference, that want to make a change. Like they're teaming up with him, like different musicians, different artists. If y'all see that flyer is bananas. It's crazy. All of the people that's going to be up there. I think he's going to do like a tribute to like quartet legends that have passed away, with Keith Wonderboy Johnson being one of those. Rest in peace to Keith. So I want to shout out Chubbs, Morton, D Morton for the QMAs. I think that is crazy. And I'm super proud of him for doing that. And I think the tribute to Keith is going to be crazy, which is a perfect segue to mention Keith, because Keith is one of the first, for me, Keith was one of the first artists that I saw with my own eyes, study the music game, and he learned about the industry outside of the quartet industry. And even though he sung quartet music, he like learned and moved different. Some people loved him for it. Some people hated him for it because how he did things sometimes may have rubbed people the wrong way. But the biggest takeaway that I got from Keith is like, see the OGs, respect the OGs, pay homage to the OGs. Now learn the whole game and play the big game, not the small game. Like Keith played the big game, and he's a legend. He's a household name, and he's somebody that everybody respects in every genre because he figured out how to play the bigger game. So that's when it comes to quartet, that is the thing that I would like to like encourage the artists to do. Like learn the big game. Like, okay, we gig, we go from church to church, we go from town to town, we go from city to city. We have people that love us, whether the older grandma, the older granddad, the middle-aged people, the young girls. Like we have a tribe of people who follow what we do. But if we want to make an impact, and if we want to continue to take care of people that we bring along with us, we have to learn the big game. Like, I've been in so many rooms where people argued over the little game. Like, to go back and forth, like, over pennies, when you can learn how to make dollars, I think that's a mistake that I've personally made just through growing and learning and living in business. And I think that is a mistake that quartets make. It's like fussing over pennies while everybody else is over here making dollars. When the wise thing to do, if you want to be, and let me say this is for any quartet artists who feel disrespected, feel overlooked, and has the desire to do something greater than what they've done previously. Put down the pennies. Don't argue with people over pennies. Look for avenues opportunities, ways, and relationships that can help you make dollars. Whether that's finding a social media manager, whether that's teaming up with a songwriter, whether that's finding a producer that nobody has worked with yet, whether that's finding a manager who loves quartet but has studied the industry enough to get you heard outside of the chilling circuit. If you desire to be greater, it's at your disposal. You have conferences and workshops like the ones that Evo Entertainment are doing. Shout out to Lisa Knowles Smith and the gang. When I saw that she's doing a seminar for songwriting and like a workshop for production, I thought that was brilliant. Like I said before, she has spread her wings and positioned herself to be in other rooms, and she always comes back and shares with the quartet community what she's learned in those other rooms. And I think that's incredible. Shout out again to D Morton for starting the QMAs, creating a platform for quartet artists, creating a resource and shedding a light on quartet artists, quartet producers, so that we won't feel the need people who don't respect it. Like, hey, Chubbs, you good, my guy. He in here right now. Shout out to him for being an advocate for us embracing ourselves. It is easy for us to point the finger and say, I wish they believed in me. But Chubbs is positioning the quartet community and the quartet industry to believe in their self. Like, we don't need a machine outside of us. We don't need resources outside of us. We don't need a head nod outside of us. We got us. So the energy that the same energy that it takes to complain, wish, and hope and point fingers, use that energy to build a platform of our own. And he's doing that. And I want to shout out him for that. Salute my guy for doing that. I think that's incredible. Again, shout out to Lisa Knowles and to everybody, to all the producers, to all the artists that are pushing the envelope, to all of the artists that want better, to all of the artists and producers who are seeking to learn outside of the bubble we've been in. Hats off to y'all. Kudos to y'all. Respect to y'all. I'm proud of who we are. I'm proud of where I come from. Like, I've been surrounded by extremely talented, gifted, legendary people almost my entire life. And one day I'll tell the story for y'all to know. But yeah, I've been surrounded by extremely gifted, talented people my entire life. And I've been given opportunities. Shout out to Ray Braswell Jr. That's my pops. He gave me opportunities at an early age. I played on the New Season. I played on Keith Wonderboy's New Season album. And I think that's when he went to Verity, because I kind of remembered him like talking about that being a big jump, and how Verity was saying, well, hey, if you do, I'll sign you, but it won't be the Spiritual Voices. That's a whole thing. And he got signed as a solo artist. And Ray, my stepdad, Ray, myself, and my uncle Tyrone did half of the record, and then Spanky did like the other half. And I think I was like 12 or 13 then. And then from then on, they just start putting me on records and putting me in rooms. And the thing is, like, shout out to my mom. So I'm gonna explain something that may help y'all. So my mom and Ray were married for, I don't know how long they were married, but of course before then I had met Ray and was fascinated with the production process. And then they got married. Of course, we in the crib every day, we in the stew every day, and I'm starting to see stuff. But the crazy thing is, I'm learning the music game from Ray, but then I have the entrepreneurial mind and the business mind and the logic mind and the common sense mind and the just wanting to see how things operate from my mom. So I'm seeing him produce records, and he's putting me in rooms with all of these people, and then my DNA of my mom is how my mind is working. So I'm looking and I'm seeing, I'm loving the experience, but then the older I get and the more opportunities I get, I also am able to recognize things that could be better. And not from the standpoint of I know something that other people don't know, or from the standpoint of, okay, you rocking with Ray, so now you think you know stuff. No, not that perspective. Just the fundamental perspective of doing right by people. Like I talked about that in the last live, like paying people, honoring your deposit, paying for production, caring about production, songwriting. What is a song? Who deserves songwriting credit? Don't steal people's publishing. These are things that I saw happen. Well, I'm like, you didn't write that song. You didn't produce that by yourself. This musician just drove a long way. And y'all hitting him with the sob story. Those things are things that can easily be fixed by people just having integrity. And I think the fundamental basis of doing right by people can change the culture of the quartet community just by deciding to do right by each other. Yeah, we may not have the knowledge of other people. Our music doesn't sound like the radio, so that may be why it's not played on radio. That can be fixed too by knowledge and resources and research and drive and hunger. But the fundamental toxicity of the community can be fixed by just doing right by each other. Simple. Like I said the other night, if a pool of groups know that a promoter never has their money, don't go back every year. If your musicians are expecting a certain amount of money, no matter where you have to get it from, make sure that they're paid. Make sure that they feel appreciated. Make sure that they don't feel like you're using them to further your own agenda only. Like, if your band, oh, this is a good one. Artists, if your band plays with you on the road and you give them money for playing with you on the road, if they go with you in the studio, that's a different set of money. Like, you owe them money for being in the studio cutting these records, because that ain't got nothing to do with the weekend. If one of your keyboard players co-produce a record, give him the co-production credit. Like, if the ideas that came out of his mind is the reason why this song is developing, he's producing, he's arranging, he's songwriting. Like, and if quartets would just fundamentally do right by people, like, the community will thrive without needing mainstream. You won't need recognition from anybody outside of the community if the community takes care of the community. If it's more of a greed thing and the crab in the bucket thing, what'll happen is, on one end, you'll never do right by people and it'll always be a bad name in the community. And then on the flip side, everybody that's doing wrong by people will be complaining because the people outside of the community ain't doing right by them. So you see, like, the pattern, it's a pattern where They treat me bad. I treat you bad. You treat me bad. And then it's just this circle. But here's the thing. We all love it so much that most of the time won't nobody jump out. Everybody just stay in and dislike each other and mistreat each other and disrespect each other weekend in, weekend out, weekend in, weekend out. Complain weekend in, weekend out, weekend in, weekend out. So there is a way to solve that problem by fundamentally, I cannot stress this enough, y'all. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. I'm 31. Y'all do the math. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. I am now 31. I have seen and heard some of the craziest things. So I stand by what I'm saying with full confidence, not from a place of bashing, not from a place of criticism, but from a place of concern, love, and care. I've seen so many people mistreated. I've seen so many people mishandled. I've seen arguments that didn't have to happen. I've seen fights that didn't have to happen. I've seen weapons drawn that didn't have to be drawn. I've seen beefs start that didn't have to start. If we were fundamentally respectful and honorable to each other. On a fundamental level, if we want respect from the world outside of the quartet community, I challenge us to do right by each other fundamentally. And then for the artists and producers that desire to go to another level, study outside your genre. If you want to grow your business and grow your brand, because at the end of the day, a quartet group is a business and a brand. So if you want to really grow, you have to see yourself as a business and a brand. And how do you grow your business and your brand? You study other businesses and other brands. You learn how they do what they do, whether that's another artist, whether that's another artist in another genre, or whether that's Nike or Chick-fil-A. Study the promo, study the budgets, study how the money is handled, study the chain of command to get business done, and figure out in your group or in your crew, how can you replicate? How can I use other business models to replicate a business formula within my group that will yield success? Lisa Knows Smith is in the building. Gang, gang, gang. Shout out to Evo Entertainment. Shout out to Lisa. She is literally like I said before, I'm going to say this while she can hear me. Lisa has put herself in positions to be in other rooms that are not quartet rooms. And her love for quartet has compelled her to turn around and teach the quartet community what she has learned in those rooms. So like when we talk about like quartet artists, what's a good way to say it? Quartet artists, okay, fundamentally, quartet is like very close. I don't know the history, so I'm not about to act like a guru, but it is closely related to like slavery, right? So most quartet songs are like Negro spirituals of like, I want to get off the plantation. If this is my life, I'd rather die and go to heaven because being beaten on earth is wearing me out. That was the foundation of most quartet because that was the life in which came before it. And then that's the kind of like the evolution. And that's like the Negro spirituals become songs with 3-part harmony and 2 leaders and a guitar. And then this is added and then this is added. But now we in 2023 where we don't have that same life So we don't have to sing those same songs. We can have that same energy. We can pay homage to that era, but we can express ourselves lyrically based on where we actually are now. And shout out to Lisa for being willing to start a company that helps with songwriting, that helps with production, that helps with graphics, that helps with social media marketing. These are things that the quartet community have been behind on. And then you have people like Lisa and like Chubbs that are willing to put it on their back, put it on their shoulders and say, you know what? I know what we don't know. I know what we're lacking. And I'm going to do my part. I'm going to use my platform, my influence, and my voice to teach. So shout out to them one more daggone time. And I think it's important for all of us who know better to teach. And I think for everybody else, I think it is really, for everybody in the quartet community, I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to say this out loud with full confidence. On a fundamental level, treat each other with dignity and respect and integrity. Like, y'all, I can't say this enough. I've seen so many, like, we all know the statement, hurt people, right? We know that. We normally know that, like, relationally on a personal level. Y'all, when you look at the quartet community, it's literally gangs of hurt people hurting gangs of hurt people. So you got, like, promoters that's going crazy on these, like, lead singers and stuff. Like, as far as not giving them their money, not making sure their hotel's good, yada, yada, yada. And then the lead singers or like the decision makers of the group, they'll complain about that because they don't feel like it's fair. But then those same decision makers and lead singers will do that to their musicians. And then the musicians are like, yo, this is trash. I really love this group. I really love this lead singer. I really love being on the road. So they'll start to, so what'll happen is the toxic behavior will be accepted because of the love for the culture and the genre. So what I'm challenging everybody to do is just like, do right by each other. If they pulled up and you told them you was going to pay this, pay it. Like, it's one thing to not have it and really not have it and then know you can get it and then give it to them. It's another thing to lie to them because you took it and you want to keep it for yourself. I've seen that so many times. I've seen people write songs that other people took the publishing for. I've seen lead singers ask their whole entire group to do a promotional gig. And then you talk to the promoter and it wasn't a promotional gig. Somebody actually got paid. Those are the fundamental things that can simply change a lot of how quartet is viewed. Like, to want respect, to want to be heard, to want to be viewed as a community that should be taken serious. It is hypocritical to have that desire or expectation when the pioneers and the OGs of the community don't do that or don't teach people to do that. Like, if we're not being respectful from the head down, then outside the community don't expect to be respected. If we're not integral from the head down, then we shouldn't expect for anybody to be integral. We shouldn't expect to be viewed or taken serious. We shouldn't be viewed in a way where we should be respected because we're not doing that inside. So I just challenge everybody in the quartet community to do right by each other. And if you don't know better, you can't do better. So I want to be a voice that says, hey guys. And I want to, again, shout to the mountaintop. I want to shout out people like Lisa Knowles. I want to shout out people like Chubbs D. Morton, because These are people who are using their influence and resources to contribute to moving and pushing Quartet forward. So shout out to them too in particular. Shout out to all of the Quartet artists that are pushing the envelope, looking for better ways. Shout out to all of the producers that are changing the game, because Quartet is starting to have a sound that it's never had before. So shout out to everybody who's contributing to that. And where my heart is for real, shout out to the young musicians, man, that be getting taken through the ringer because of this thing that they love, yo. Shout out. It be tough. Cats be talking out the side of their neck sometimes. We take the hit for things sometimes, but we love it and we show up. And shout out to all y'all, all us. I'm one of them, for real. So shout out to all of us for continuing to push. Again, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. Y'all don't have to do what y'all do when y'all being here. So shout out to the music community. Shout out to the Quartet community specifically in this situation, in this episode 97. Shout out to everybody that's pushing the envelope forward. Shout out to everybody that's using their voice and their gift to make a difference and a change. I want to be one of those people. And yeah, that's it. Shout out again to D. Morton. Shout out again to Lisa Knowles Smith. I love y'all. Y'all know that. Y'all know what it is. So yeah, that's it. Until next time. Peace.